All right, my red letter running friends. Sorry it's always dark right now. We hit time changes, really getting me. Either way, y'all know what it is. Thursday, just got to run in. Let me get this thing. 10.92 miles. Nice and slow. Took almost 2 hours. My pace was a 10:22, and either way, I tried to stay in zone 3 the whole time. So really 84% of my run, hour and 35 minutes, was in zone 3. That's pretty good for me. Right around 150 on the pulse rate. 149 is what it just said. My average running power was at 353, so I cut the running power down to do that. My max was a 477, so my max was probably where I was trying to kick it up to my normal pace. I had to really slow down. Power zones, obviously, zone 1 on power, hour and 36 minutes, 59 seconds. That was 86% of my run. 2 seconds in zone 4, so that's pretty funny. But either way, elevation was 131 up. And, really, exact same back to my car. I just stopped it a little away. But, yeah, so my aerobic was a 3.7. My anaerobic was a 0 as far as my training. My load was a 148. My VO2 max is productive, 48, it says. Acute load was 565. And then my recovery is only 42 hours this time. But what I want to talk about with this run that I think is very crucial is I do not like running slow. I'm the guy that wants to run faster all the time. You can't do that. You have to do both. You have to run slow. You have to run fast. And either way, my interval run Tuesday, that was a hard 10 miles, or at least 5 of them were hard. The other 5 were pretty easy, but all of that was still harder than what I did today. But the mental mindset today was, if I'm training for an ultra, I got to get used to these paces for a long time. And I'll be honest, when you talk about running benefits, like the mental gain from running, I had like 3 different points in this run where I literally had to conquer mental thoughts of want to quit, not want to do this, all this stuff. Pains were here, knees, hips, calves, everything has been hurting. But every mental step that I took where I pushed past the mental blocks that were trying to show up, and I went over those or through those, however you want to say it, my body stopped hurting all 3 times. So I think it was at right at 3.8 miles, around 8 miles. So 3.8 was a big one. Both my knees quit hurting. 8 miles was just a lot of hips and stuff, blah, blah, blah. But the hip pain went away at 8 miles, which just showed up after the 3.8. But so pains were showing up as I went. Right now I have some more, but I really want to talk about where I ran 10.9 miles, and I could have ran to 11 and made it cool, but whatever, I didn't. I don't care. It all adds up the same at the end of the day, because I'm pushing mileage up this week, and I may try to get one extra 10-mile run in this week, and then just do my normal 10-mile run on the weekend. We'll see. I may try it a little different, but 10 miles feels good, so I may try to keep doing 10-mile runs. Either way, I really want to talk about the 10th mile of this run was, I was going down, started mile 10, and when I started this last lap, so down and back is a little over 2 miles, but when I started this lap, I did not want to return back to the beginning of this lap. I didn't have to. My goal was 10 miles. My 10 miles was done, but I was like, man, I have to start pushing the mental mindsets. I have to get this stuff with the Lord where I'm like, I can persevere, because perseverance is something that I'm lacking, and pushing through the hard stuff is something that I'm not real good at. And all of us have different things that we think is hard. So the stuff in my mind I think is hard, I have to get better at. So what I'm doing right now, today I was like, man, that's the exact same feeling. Making it back to those rocks at the beginning of this run is the exact same feeling that I need to overcome. That feeling shows up in other aspects of my life, and I have to beat it. So making that last push where I had already hit 10 miles, it was going to push me over 10 and a half miles just to get back to the rocks. And then I was like, on top of that, I'm going to run back to my sign. There's a sign over there, and I like to just touch it every time I go by. Not every time, but a good amount of times. It just keeps stuff fun. Like I have a basketball net right here that y'all probably can't see it. That one. I like to just smack that net. It's hanging down pretty far, and you don't have to jump or anything. You just smack the little string hanging down. So I like to do stuff like that. It makes it entertaining and get your mind off of this. But it was a good tactic. I mean, if you can enjoy what's around you, not just be focused on how miserable you are, it's a good tactic. But in saying that, the mental game and putting in the work is the only way you're going to make progress. You can't just be mentally strong and make progress, or just physically strong and make progress. You gotta work both, and somehow have to figure it out, right? And that's where I'm at. But something in me got better today, but it was only for that last, I would say from 10 to 10.9 miles. Something was able to actually grow. And so I had to run 10 miles to get 0.9 miles of growth. And I would probably even say it's only a half a mile of growth. But I couldn't have got it without the first 10. Either way, just want to encourage y'all. You can't do it like all this. Like, you can't do anything if you're not doing anything. And if you do something, you can make it happen. So I say that as in, you should go train for a marathon right now. Just start training, whatever that looks like. Make a plan next year, run a marathon. And I say that because I'm learning so much through this one process. And the thing that's going to jump on you, the second I've said that, you probably felt it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to train for a marathon. It's exactly what I thought when my buddy Jason was asking me to start training for this one. I was like, I don't want to. I don't want to. And if your first response is, I absolutely want to, well, stick it out, because it's going to be hard to stick out. But if you sit there and you think, I really don't want to do this, then honestly, you're probably the person who's going to take that serious. And when you commit, you'll probably really commit. Either way, commit and do it. And don't take no for an answer. Really, because no one's an elite athlete unless you go be an elite athlete. Everyone can be an elite athlete, just no one does. And that's a real thing. I'm like, I don't know how I'm able to conquer these mindsets other than the Lord. I really don't, but He's out here. And He's out here with you. He's out here with me. And He wants us to grow in these areas. My feet hurt. My calves hurt. I don't want to spend time doing any of this stuff. I want to be at home with my wife and kids. It's what time is it? It's 9:38. I just ran for 2 hours. I'm like, and I worked all day. I know I got a full-time job as a forklift mechanic. I'm not, it's not an easy job, So it's like, I promise you the last thing I want to do is come out here and run 10 miles and hurt and have to conquer mindsets. But after I get done with it, I always want to come back, because I'm like, oh, I grew today. And it's so much different types of growth. Either way, we'll talk more about it as we go. Y'all have a good night or morning. I'll see you on the next one.